In order to achieve success, you need to construct a solid foundation. It is important to remember that success is not something that just appears out of nowhere and knocks on your door. It is not a friend or acquaintance, and it is most certainly not a coincidence. The foundation of success is laid day by day, brick by brick. And in the same way that a structure requires a strong foundation, so does your life, your work, your relationships, and your health. Regardless of how tall you build, if you do not have a strong foundation, everything you have built is going to come tumbling down when life decides to hurl the first storm your way. To develop a foundation that is robust enough to survive any obstacle and maintain your success over the long haul, let's go over 3 essential tactics that will help you build that foundation. First, I would like to make it clear that everything starts with taking responsibility for oneself. That brings us to the first strategy. If you want to construct something that will last the test of time, you must begin with yourself. You yourself are the cornerstone of success. None of these things, the economy, the government, your boss, your spouse, or anyone else but you alone. At an early stage, Mr. Shove provided me with the advice that accepting responsibility entails letting go of all excuses. You must stop blaming other people for your current circumstance. Indeed, we are all subject to occurrences. In spite of the fact that the weather isn't always favorable and the cards aren't always in our favor, success doesn't care about the excuses you throw around. Exactly one question is posed by it. How are you going to deal with this situation? This is the first step in taking responsibility for one's actions. Accepting that it is up to me to decide whether or not it will be is what it entails. Now consider how powerful that concept is, because the instant you accept complete responsibility for your life, you open the door to an unbelievable level of control. You are the one who decides how much effort you apply. You have complete power over how you react to failures. When life knocks you down, it is up to you to decide whether or not you will get back up again. So this is the secret. You have no control over anything that takes place, but you do have control over how you react to everything that takes place. Those answers, on the other hand, are the fundamental elements that constitute success. This is the issue at hand. Success without responsibility is what the majority of people want. They are looking for the benefits without having to pay the price. However, this is not how life works at all. In order to be successful, you must be willing to accept responsibility for both your successes and your failures. This is something I want to make clear to you. The people who are successful in life are not the ones who never make a mistake. In the end, it is they who gain knowledge from them. Take this into consideration. Every single error and every single setback is much like a stone. It is a burden for some people to carry them about with them. However, individuals that are astute make advantage of those stones in order to construct their foundation. Each and every mistake that is rectified and each and every lesson that is learned becomes a component of the framework that supports you. When you accept responsibility, you are not simply stating that you are sorry for your actions. You are implying that I have acquired something of value and that I intend to put it to use. The second technique comes into play at this point. Once you have acknowledged that you are responsible for the situation, discipline is required. If taking responsibility for one's actions is the first step, then discipline is the way to ensure that the mortar remains sturdy. As a result, everything is held together. It is a common belief of mine that discipline is the link that connects goals and accomplishments. There are dreams for everyone. Every person, especially at the beginning of the year, when the calendar is turned over, makes a list of goals for themselves. But imaginations are nothing more than dreams that lack discipline. There is no significance to them. In order to transform a positive goal into an outcome, discipline is required. Doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, is what we mean when we talk about discipline. For the reason that I am telling you, success does not care about how you perceive it. On certain days, you will awaken feeling inspired and prepared to take on the world. You may find that you have no desire to get out of bed on certain days. This is where the trick lies. Regardless, you go ahead and do it. It's a form of discipline. Because it is the proper thing to do, you choose to act in a certain manner, not due to the fact that it is simple or convenient. My advice to those who want to be in shape used to be that they should not join a gym simply because they are driven to do so. Motivating factors come and go, but you should join because you've committed. commitment that is supported by self-control. Exactly, that is what stays. Staying true to your financial plan, even when temptation is whispering in your ear, is what it means to show up to work when you are exhausted. In order to be able to say yes to what is essential, it is important to say no to what is simple. You need to cultivate the habit of discipline and ensure that you do not make any mistakes. It is a routine that you do every day, just like you would brush your teeth or lock the front door before going to bed. It begins with a small step. It's possible that you have the self-control to read 10 pages of a captivating book every single day. It's also possible that you set the alarm and choose not to press the snooze button. It is not about making huge movements, rather it refers to being consistent. And here's the most exciting part, the compounding of discipline. Taking a few simple steps on a regular basis over a period of time will provide enormous rewards. Discipline will carry you through when motivation wanes, regardless of whether you are trying to create a business, improve your health, or grow as a person. I have seen this time and time again. Now let's move on to the third method for achieving achievement. It is believed that consistency is achieved when personal responsibility serves as the basis and discipline serves to maintain the structure. What makes it possible for it to expand is consistency. The act of cultivating a garden is a metaphor for achievement. In order to have a full harvest by the end of the week, you cannot plant seeds one day, water them the following day, and then expect to have a full harvest. Just like it takes time for a garden to flourish, success is something that needs time. And this is where the importance of consistency lies. The majority of individuals quit up too quickly, which is the problem. They begin with a great deal of enthusiasm, but as soon as they do not see results right away, they become discouraged. You are aware of what I used to say to other people? On the one hand, you should be patient, but on the other, you should be impatient. This indicates that you should not anticipate results in a single day, but you should also avoid allowing yourself to remain in the same position year after year. In order to achieve a balance, you need to. While you should be patient with the process, you should be fierce in your pursuit. In addition, always keep in mind that consistency is superior to intensity. I have witnessed individuals attempting to make significant changes all at once, attempting to modify every undesirable habit overnight. On the other hand, what takes place? They are exhausted. It is not the level of intensity that is important. Inconsistency is the problem. Rather than seeing someone run 10 miles once a month, I would rather to see them walk 1 mile every single day. Momentum is what propels you forward day after day, week after week, and it is created when you consistently put forth effort. Building trust also requires consistency. It is important to have faith in yourself and other people, and in the process itself. People will take note of you if you continuously show up and if you consistently behave in a manner that is appropriate. Not only does your reputation begin to improve, but more significantly, you begin to have faith in yourself. Taking consistent action is the means by which confidence can be developed. The feeling of confidence is not something that comes over you all of a sudden. That you are able to rely on your own efforts is the result of repeatedly demonstrating to yourself that you are capable of doing so. But there is a catch to this. To be consistent, it is not enough to simply act in the appropriate manner. It's also about avoiding the things that aren't appropriate. The basis for success is not something that can be built upon. It's a sign of confidence. It is like attempting to fill a bucket with water while poking holes in the bottom of the bucket if you continue to chip away at it with poor behaviors. Each time you fail to complete a workout, go overboard with your spending, or put off completing a task that is of critical importance, you are attempting to undermine that foundation. Thus, maintaining consistency calls for care. Your routines need to be guarded with the vigilance of a hawk. Now, I am aware of what perhaps some of you are considering. What if I make a mistake? Jim, that all sounds like a fantastic situation. So what happens if I get off track? However, I have some wonderful news for you. Perfectionism is not a prerequisite for success. Perseverance is required for it. You will make a mistake. You are going to get carried away. Whether or if you will fall is not the subject at hand. What is important is whether or not you will get back up. In addition, when you do, you should return to those same ideas. Responsibility, self-control, and consistency are essential. Building a foundation that is robust enough to survive the storms of life is accomplished in this manner. I would want to leave you with this contemplation. In the pursuit of success, laying a solid foundation is not a glamorous endeavor. There are no major turning points or unexpected breakthroughs involved. Everything is about the little things. The routines from day to day, the insignificant choices, the times of peace and silence in which you make the decision to proceed even though no one is observing you. However, the sum of these seemingly insignificant details adds up. Brick by brick, they are constructing something that is truly remarkable. Now I put you to the test. Begin right away. Acknowledge and accept responsibility for your current situation, even if it is not where you would like to be. I am grateful to you because how you do something is how you do everything. It is important to practice discipline in the areas that are somewhat minor. First and foremost, maintain consistency. Always be present, even when things are difficult and even when no one is celebrating your efforts. Because if you do, I guarantee that success will not be a question of whether you will achieve it. Rather, it will be a question of when you will achieve it.